Okay, now we will proceed to answer question part C, that is to test each of the 16 independent variables, whether they are significantly related to homelessness or not. If you have to do each of the tests in detail, then it will take forever. So that's why when you are having your exam, I told you that you just need to put a detailed test for just one variable, and for the other variables just write down the conclusion of the test. So to be efficient, I'll just copy paste this table again. Okay, so then just copy this one and then paste it in here. Okay, so then this because I want to just summarize the result of each of the tests in this table. So what hypothesis are we testing in here? Actually, it's just exactly like the one that we did in part B. So then I just copy the procedure in part B. Okay, and then just copy them all, and then we'll make some adjustment later. Paste in here. While in part B, the question is that whether the incidence of homelessness decreases. That's why we have the one-tailed hypothesis, one-sided hypothesis for the alternative. But in part C, it's just asked whether they are significantly related to homelessness or not. It doesn't say that whether the relationship is positive or negative. That's why for the hypothesis here, instead of less than 0, then we just have not equal to 0. Okay, so it's much more general. And then so we just get rid of this one. Okay, so I mean that for the detailed procedure, I'll just make adjustment to the procedure that we did in part B. So the test statistic is just the same, and then the t-value is also just the same, and then we compare it with this exactly the same. And then so because in here we have two-tailed hypothesis, then we should compare the t-value from the output with the t-value for the two-tailed, that is with minus 2.0305 or 305. And then why I choose minus? Because we have here the negative value of t that we got up here. What is it? Minus 2.71. Okay, so then just delete this one. And then since t is minus 72.71 is less than minus 2.0305, then we reject the null hypothesis. So we saw that the incidence of homelessness is statistically related with what do we have in X4? With employment growth, related with the employment growth, and it is significant at the level of 5%. Okay, so in here I think that we just need to delete this and change it with our decision whether we will reject or not reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so our null hypothesis, I just write a decision on the null hypothesis, and the one that we did before is that we reject the null hypothesis because we are comparing the value of minus 2.71 here with the value of, what is it, minus 2.03. so here we check the null hypothesis. So in here we just need to, for other, I just need to do similar procedures for all other variables, I mean that the predictor variables, and then compare the t-value, is it L? Okay, compare the t-value with minus 2.03 or 5. Okay, if the t-value, not just minus 2 but plus minus with, okay, so, and here is that plus minus, oopsie, plus minus, if the t-value, then of course we take the absolute value, t-value in absolute is greater than that 2 point, also the absolute value, or I'll just write it 2 point or 3 or 5, then reject, see, then reject the null hypothesis. That's all that we need to do. Just compare the value of t here with 2 point or 3 or 5. So in here we just ignore the intercept. There's no use of testing the intercept. Here we have 3.93 greater than 2.03. So in here we have reject the null hypothesis, and here minus 1.58, it's greater than minus 2 point, greater than minus 2.03, so no rejecting the null hypothesis. And here we have minus 0.23 is in the acceptance region, so no reject. And then in here minus 1.33 compared to minus 2.03 or 5, this is in the acceptance region, minus 0.38, no rejecting, 1.22 is less than 2 points, so oopsie, so then we don't reject the null hypothesis. 0.95 is also between minus 2.03 to 2.03, so we don't reject the null hypothesis. Minus 2.58 reject, 2.14 greater than 2.03 or 5, so reject. Here we don't reject, here we don't reject the null hypothesis, don't reject the null hypothesis, don't reject the null hypothesis. This one also we don't reject it. Here also we don't reject it. So in here we can get the conclusion that among those 16 variables, there's only rental price. Okay, there are rental price, employment growth, AFDC benefits, and SSI benefits that statistically significant related to the number of homelessness at the significance level of 5%.